What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 1025 podcast. This is episode 4. I'm Jordan, along with Achonti and Kristen, and today we're going to be talking about music videos. And music videos are one of the most experimental and ever evolving genres when it comes to filmmaking. A lot of artists like Michael Jackson and Madonna, they've broke grounds to how artists can create very thought-provoking and imaginative videos that inspire many. So today we're going to split it up in 3 categories: the music videos that inspired us, the ones that kept us thinking, and then the ones that made us go, what the heck did I just watch? Does anybody want to go first on the music videos that have inspired us? Any?
Okay, I'll go.
All right,
Okay,
Shanti?
one empowering music video that just from the offset of my childhood that inspired me was Lauryn Hill's "Doo Wop" or That Thing. I'm sure it's a song both of you guys have listened to.
Yeah.
But in its lyrical content, she kind of juxtaposes the expectations that people have as Black men and Black women, also with the outcomes of having those expectations, I guess. Even the music video, the actual content of the music video is interesting because she kind of does it like a now and then type of thing. The same issues that were happening now are continuing to happen. So that is a very impactful and inspiring music video to me.
Okay, that's amazing. Kristen?
One of the ones that inspired me.
Yeah.
I really liked "You Say" by Lauren Daigle. I heard it on some award show, and it really just spoke to me.
I like that song.
Yeah, I'll hear it one day. But as far as music videos that have inspired me, there were many that have inspired me over the years from a teenager to now. But I think there were really 3 of them that kind of had that impact on me. The first one is from pop rock band Linkin Park, the song "Breaking the Habit," just because it kind of has this really cool art style. If you've ever seen the movie Kill Bill, there's an anime sequence, and it's animated by Shinya Ohira and Kazuto Nakazawa, 2 very popular anime directors. And it's really the multiple storylines, how it focuses on different type of people, like this depressed teenage girl, a couple who's having a baby, and then a drug dealer, and then of course the main lead singer, Chester, who tragically passed away, I believe it was 2 years ago. And the song was actually written because it was based off of his substance abuse and his, drug addiction, breaking the habit. He was breaking being a drug addict. And then the second one is pretty much Beyonce's visual albums, like her self-titled record, Lemonade, and Black is King. I feel like each one of those had a very unique and interesting concept behind it. But the one that stood out the most to me was Beyonce's self-titled record, because it kind of focused on, this was when she was evolving more into a woman and into a mother, and also kind of telling her fans that, yeah, you can embrace your imperfections. You don't have to feel bad about who you are. And I just think those concepts and ideas, the reinvention is really good, as she's an artist who each album, she reinvented herself in a unique way, whether it was Sasha Fierce, Beyonce, Lemonade, where she was more of a rebellious type, and then Black is King, where she is basically a love letter to Africa. And I love that. And then this self-love and self-identity is very important for us African Americans now. And then the last one that inspired me comes from R&B singer The Weeknd. His song "False Alarm," that was on his 2016 album Starboy, I really love, because it's a video that is entirely first person. There's a director named Ilya Naishuller who directed this music video, and he directed this film called Hardcore Henry. And it was basically like a first person shooter game made into a movie, where it's literally you're the protagonist. You're basically seeing the entire thing. And I just love the cinematic feel to it, as you're basically thrown right into it. It's a bank robbery, heist type of film. And yeah, it's really good. Very eerie, dark, and ominous. And yeah, those were the 3 that inspired me the most.
Yeah.
And the main thing about music videos is that music videos are created to kind of give you an idea and you keep thinking. For example, This Is America by Childish Gambino. Every time you watch that, you are instantly thinking about, wow, this keeps happening. The racial injustices that plague America, as well as like I'm Not Racist by Joyner Lucas. It creates a really good conversation piece to the ones who need help in being educated about the struggles and Black plight, even not just of African Americans, of minorities. So what were some music videos that kept you thinking? What were the ones that every time you watch it, you kind of get a new idea and a new perspective from it?
So one of them would definitely be Childish Gambino's "This Is America," because from the offset he uses like the caricatures and like the literal like representations of Black people in the past, and then like I said before, music videos that make those intense connections to the past and like bring it to the future are always going to be impactful because that just gives like a well-rounded perspective for the audience. Like it's problem has been going on for like forever. However, now I'm going to make a music video about it so you can know about it. So I think that's one of the most impactful. And the second one is actually Green Day's "When I Come Around."
Mm-hmm.
The lyrical content in the song isn't exactly the same. I don't know if you guys have heard it before. Have you?
I've heard it when I was in 11th grade, and then I heard another song that I think it was supposed to be based off of the 9/11 attacks from Green Day. I forgot what it's called. I might have to look it up, later on. But yeah, we were watching a lot of Green Day music videos back when I was on 11th grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Billy Joe Armstrong makes Billy Joe Armstrong in like the latter part of his career makes really great critiques about youth America or like America. Excellent at that. But during this part of their career, it was more so talking about kind of like the cognitive dissonance that teens face and like detached youth, not really feeling there. So the music video, like I said, is completely different from the lyrics, but in the music video, you just see everybody's watching each other. I guess watching everybody else. So like the onset of the video, you have him and his band walking down the street and like the guitar riff starts and everything. And then like you see them walk past like a ballet class, I think, and there's a little girl in there. And then at the end of that sequence, the little girl looks up into like the apartment above her and there's a man and there's like he's doing his own thing, I guess. So the cinematography in it is like really interesting. Like it's interesting how they make the transitions. But when I first watched it, I was like, this is kind of weird. It's like fast paced. And I'm kind of used to music videos, at least having some sort of a connection to the lyrics. But like as now it's 2020, that doesn't really happen all the time.
Yeah,
So
I like that. I like that. I'm sorry to cut you. I like how with some music videos, it's more than just the artist, just performing. You know what I'm saying? The director can create their own story with it. And I'm glad that you brought up cinematography because even with the last few, the music videos that I were bringing up, and even the ones later on, their cinematography has that very unique, very enticing style to it. And I find that very interesting.
That's really all I had to say was how it just kept me thinking about how everyone's always longing for something that somebody else has, but they don't understand the context of that person's life story. So when I was watching the video, I noticed that the little girl in the ballet class, like they first walked towards, she was in a very constraining situation, I feel like. I guess even though it had her like in a ballet class, she was like a child, her mom probably put her in there, just seeing how mechanical it was and her looking up into the window and like an old woman. It was an old woman, I'm pretty sure. And then the old woman was looking at her. She was probably longing for the youth that the little girl had, but the little girl was longing for freedom. And we see these like at odd longings throughout the entire music video. There's always someone looking to another person longing for what they have. So that kind of helped me, it was very simplistic, but that kind of just helped me relate that to myself about how, what someone else has, I might not understand how that affects them or how they got there, I guess. And to be a little bit more, not necessarily grateful for what I have, but a little bit less, understanding, maybe. Not really wanting everything, I guess.
Right. I understand wholeheartedly what you're saying, especially because the thing about, and then we're gonna go on to Kristen later. Well, in a few. I like how with music videos, the director gives you something to think about, like how you said the little girl, and when the band is in the ballet, room. I like how creators, they kind of give you little hints and little bits and pieces of for you to connect the story together. You
Yeah.
Kristen, what's up?
'Cause
What's the music video that kept you thinking?
kind of parallel to what Ashanti was saying, there's actually a music video called Papa Ute by Stromae. It's a French music video, and it was actually showing a depiction of an absent father, but instead they used robot-like actions to display this. And the whole entire time he was saying, "Where's my father? Where's my father?"
Yeah.
And that was actually kind of interesting to watch because even the stage performance, they were acting like robots and everything.
So that
So
kept.
basically,
I was about to
oh,
say that. I was about to say that kept you kind of like thinking, like, okay, why is this person like this? Where did his
yeah,
father go? Why is he the one that has an absent father? Compared to many other people
exactly.
in America. Well, in
Yeah.
Because he would see everyone,
Okay, go on.
you can go.
because he would see everyone else just playing with their own fathers and mothers, and then his would just be a robot.
Yeah. That's a very complex idea. You can kind of dissect the fact that a lot of kids in the world, and I kind of think of that as how kids in the world, they don't have, some of them don't have parents that they can have fun with and play and do all that stuff. So this robot represents the dead soul of the person's life. Like, he wish he can go bike riding with his dad, or play basketball with his mom, or the other way around. He wish he can do these things a normal kid would do, but he can't because his parent is a machine.
But even if you look up the history of Stromae, you would also understand this video has a deeper significance because he actually was a kid growing up in Rwanda and he had to move because of the genocide that was happening there.
Yeah, with the Hotel Rwanda thing, like the Hutu and the Tutsi, he had to leave from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he ended up moving to Belgium.
Okay. Um, one of the biggest music videos, I believe, out of the '90s that made a huge impact on a lot of people, including me, who just watched this like last year, was Pearl Jam's "Jeremy." It's a film that really, it's based off, the song is based off of a true story about a young kid who actually went into his classroom and shot himself in front of the class. I think he was in like ninth grade or something. And the lead singer, Eddie, he was like, okay, let's make a song about this and let's raise awareness of bullying and mental illness, and how you're not supposed to bully somebody because you don't really know the mental trauma, the mental hell that people are going through today. And I think it I think the video really, it also keeps you thinking, and it inspires people as well, because it kind of shows you first a whole story that is behind these 3 minutes. This kid is bullied at home. His parents not are really listening to him. The only person, and a cool thing that I also find really cool in the video, is that Jeremy's the only person who's moving. Everyone else is depicted as like statues and stuff, and they're not really being as human as Jeremy is, and Eddie, who is the performer in the video. But also like how in the video, when Jeremy's about to shoot himself, you can kind of see on the board, they were going to be talking about mental illness like anxiety disorder, paranoia, suicidal thoughts. And then it's kind of a coincidence because one of her students, because I think the teacher was a woman, students walked in and literally shot himself. And even because I watched the uncensored version, and you can actually see him put the gun up to his mouth and pull the trigger. Of course, you're not going to see the aftermath of it. But even when I first saw the video, I thought he shot the class, but it was incredibly different. He killed himself. And I think the video is still relevant today with the, school shootings that were happening for the past few years, like Columbine, Sandy Hook, the incident in Florida. So this video really hits home to a lot of people.
Yeah. Even to make like a more general statement about that, I feel even the lyrics in the song kind of showed us that the people around him didn't really notice what was going on.
Yeah.
And instances, sometimes it's too little too late. Even when you have a curriculum that's based on teaching students how to cope with mental health, sometimes it's just too little too late. The damage has already been done. And even though you have people that are around him every day, like his mother. I remember I think she had an interview in her hometown, like a local newspaper. She said she really saw his symptoms of depression and anxiety.
Yeah, like she didn't know that he was battling depression. He didn't know any of that, And I believe I even saw a YouTube video that one of his classmates, she didn't actually bully him, but one of his classmates actually did an interview when she was much older, and she even said to himself he was very quiet, kept to himself, and didn't really socialize with the class. He was very quiet, and even in the video, he's seen drawing pictures. I think him drawing pictures, that was a way for him to kind of escape the harsh world that he was living in. A lot of people use art as a way to escape any environment that they're in, whether it's abusive, drugs, bullying.
Yeah. Or like books or any other form of escapism, really get away from going through.
So now we're going to move on to really the last topic, but we can kind of expand more, later on in the video. And I will provide links for every video that you guys are mentioned in the description. But now we're going to move on to videos that made us kind of question, what did I just watch? Like, how you ever watch something and it's just like, did I really watch that? It kind of just made you feel, it kind of messed you up first when watching it. So what were some videos that made you guys feel like, what the heck? Like, what did I just watch? What was this person thinking?
Probably the video Can't Remember to Forget You by Shakira and Rihanna. Because it was just them bumping and grinding up against the wall, the whole video. And this video is even banned in Russia because of how weird it is.
Yeah.
I just didn't get the point of the video.
I mean, it's...
Or the yodeling sounds.
Right. I mean, Shakira and Rihanna, two of the most beautiful women in the music industry. It's like, what else y'all gonna do?
Yeah. My video wasn't really. So you guys remember that part of like the 2010s, like parodies were like a really big thing. I feel like in the parodies that I watched, it was just kind of like, oh, what the fuck? Because the parody is a critique of the original music video, or somehow relating it to like something completely different to it. That's literally what parodizing is. But I remember Al Yankovic, like a lot of his videos kind of made me like, what the heck? And I remember my 4th grade teacher, this parody to a song called Riding Dirty. It was called like White and Dirty. And the whole time I was just like, what? That was my first time like ever like seeing a parody. Like my first time, it was a literature class. And he was explaining to us what parodizing was. So just seeing, have you guys ever seen that music video firstly? Like, have you guys ever? Because it was like really big.
I've heard.
You mean White and Dirty?
Yeah.
Dirty.
White and
It was like
yes.
Dirty. Yeah, I've heard of the song Riding Dirty. That's played in like every barbecue, all that, but I don't think I've seen the parody that you're talking about.
But yeah, it was real. It's nothing like really, like crazy or anything like that. It was just like extremely goofy. And that was the first time I had ever seen anything like not explicit, but like with a lot of sexual innuendos in there, and I was like able to understand them. So like the whole time I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we've all seen Mine's Last Night. It's another first person perspective music video, and it's from this indie rock band called The Prodigy, and it's pronounced "Smack My Beat Up," right? A lot of people say "Smack My Bits Up." Other people say "female," "Smack my female dog up" and all that. But I first saw this video, I believe, last year, first semester of last year, and I was seeing how, one, it was first person, it had this gritty type of cinematography to it, and then the music had this very unnerving type of feel to it. So I watched it, and it literally made me go, what in the actual hell is this? Like, watching it, it makes you go, what is this person gonna do next? Is he gonna kill somebody? Is he gonna rob a bank? Is he gonna do crazy stuff, beat up women, all that? And this video was very controversial to the fact how it depicts sexual violence and drugs and nudity and all that type of stuff. And I just find it it was very unsettling when you first watch it, and including the reveal that happened in the end, which, not gonna spoil it, it really was like a head explosion type stuff. Yeah.
Mhm. I feel like it really translated how people are able to go on spirals with like their indulgences as far as like drugs and sex go. Because like I don't want to spoil it at the end, but we were expecting her to be the typical version of who we expect to do those things. Like I got kind of like basically. Well, I already freaking spoiled. Sorry. But I was expecting to see someone completely different. And the first thing I got from this video is just that any type of person can be addicted to these things, to be addicted to lifestyle. And, maybe she was going to wake up the next day and do it all over again. Maybe the next day, maybe it was the weekend, and the next day she was going to go to like a 9-to-5 job or something like that.
Because most of this video takes place at night. So I kind of describe this as a typical Friday night for our protagonist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The protagonist is in the shower, gets ready, and then we see the protagonist snort cocaine, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those music videos I find very intriguing. I like when an artist does something more than just, hey, stand on this brick wall and I'll just record you lip syncing the song. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's different than that. It's more than just, let's just performance art. Even though it is performance art, we can add a story to it. We can be experimental with the moving image. So another question I want to ask you guys, because since we basically finished all the topics, is how do you think like visual art when it comes to our favorite artists will evolve in the next few years? You know what I'm saying? Because artists like Michael Jackson, like I mentioned in the intro, Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and Madonna, they've kind of created the skeleton of how we view music videos. Michael Jackson made like high concept, high quality music videos. Madonna was on the very experimental side, and Whitney Houston was on the very performance art side. Same with Michael Jackson and Madonna as well. So how do you guys think the visual medium is going to evolve?
Well, on the offset, all of these artists were of a new wave movement during the 80s, which you probably already know. And during that time, there's a literal song called Video Killed the Radio Star. So I feel like with them like experimenting and doing like all these awesome, fantastical things, that's literally exactly what's about to happen, like sooner or later. And we're used to always seeing like bodies, like human bodies in music videos. Yeah. But some point everything's just gonna get like real wavy. Like there's not even going to be like
animated.
Yeah, not even animated. Like just not really having, just really experimental. Not even having like regular human bodies or like objects in there. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. That's the thing that I love most about filmmaking in general, is that you can be so experimental through the camera, and it's like it's gonna keep people thinking from years to come, you know. So Kristen, what do you think? Like, how do you think this medium is gonna evolve in the coming future?
I've actually seen some great things from Stromae in his music video Carmen, where it's literally just all animations and a translation up under the video.
Yeah.
Where basically it's a Tweety bird snatching someone up in order to depict what happens when people use social media.
Yeah.
And then he has another video. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, I can't find it right now. But it's actually about cancer, and he has just a whole figurine or whatever moving across the screen the whole time. It's really creepy.
Yeah. Very similar to the Prodigy video that I talked about. It's very trippy, it has a very psychedelic vibe to it. Like, you took drugs and this is what you're seeing. Like, yeah. Another question I want to ask you guys is, who are some of y'all's favorite visual artists? Like, whether it's music videos, films, paintings. Who are some of y'all's favorite artists that you guys constantly go to and to consume their art?
Well, I'm a huge fan of like 80s new wave music, so I'd say like and Madonna too. When she first came out, her music, her choreography was really awesome.
Absolutely.
And choreography, so I'd have to say like Janet Jackson, Madonna, just all those people from like the 80s and like early 90s music videos. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, Madonna, Janet Jackson, all of them that you just mentioned, they were really good pioneers when it came to evolving, and reinvention. Kristen?
Exactly. Well, if y'all haven't already noticed, Stromae is one of my favorites. And then I really like Erykah Badu's music videos, Jack, Princess Nokia, and
On and On. The On and On
yes,
video.
I love it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna wrap mine up real quick. My personal favorite music video artists is, of course, like Beyonce, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar. A lot of these artists, they take their art and then they send what we view as just their plain on music. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick can rap about, police brutality and all that, and then his music videos, he can have a lot of biblical imagery and all that. Of course, Kanye, he's well known for his reinvention and the very complex ideas that he conveys in his music and even in his personal life. And of course, we all have to thank, all of our artists, to really Michael Jackson. He was the one who really broke Black artists into the industry when it came to showing their videos on MTV. Like Billie Jean was like the main video that was played on heavy rotation, and they were like, play this, every hour, every minute of every day. And it's still one of my personal favorites. And of course, Thriller is another great music video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all, thank y'all for listening to me mumble along. And
All right.
yeah. Thank you guys for watching the 1025 podcast. I'm Jordan, along with Achonti Kristen. We will see you next time. Peace.
All right, see ya.